Gorilla. This giant can end a fight without throwing a single punch. The gorilla is the largest living primate, with some individuals reaching around 200 kilograms of powerful muscle. And yet, this enormous animal mainly eats leaves and plants. A silverback doesn't need to constantly prove how strong he is. Sometimes he simply stands there. One stare, one deep breath, and everything nearby suddenly knows to back off. That's the real power of a gorilla. Dominance without violence. Even the famous chest drumming isn't just for show. It's a long-distance warning that basically says, "I'm calm. Don't make me stop being calm." But here's what makes gorillas so different from their appearance. Behind that massive body are surprisingly shy and sensitive animals that can become easily stressed. And their biggest threat isn't another predator. It's us. Habitat destruction continues to push these incredible apes toward extinction. A creature powerful enough to dominate a forest can still lose its home to the only animal capable of destroying it from the outside. Chimpanzee. This smiling ape can turn a quiet forest into a battlefield. The chimpanzee may look cute and harmless, but an adult can weigh around 80 kilograms, packed with muscle, intelligence, and an unpredictable temper. These apes are brilliant problem solvers. They crack nuts with stones, use sticks to fish termites from their nests, and can quickly switch from playful behavior to serious conflict when a rival troop crosses into their territory. And their social lives are just as intense. Chimpanzees build alliances, form rivalries, betray each other, and constantly compete for status and power. It's basically jungle politics, with much higher stakes. They're also capable hunters, sometimes working together to catch monkeys with remarkable efficiency. That's what makes chimps so fascinating. Gorillas might intimidate you with sheer size. Chimpanzees are different. They're the smaller relatives who can smile, think, cooperate, plan, and then suddenly turn that intelligence into a weapon. Cute face, 80 kilograms of strategy, and absolutely no guarantee that the next move will be friendly. Orangutan. This ape doesn't rush through the rainforest. It thinks first. The orangutan is famous for its quiet, almost philosophical nature, often moving slowly through the trees while spending much of its time alone. But that solitude hides an extraordinary mind. Give an orangutan a branch and it can turn it into a tool. Give it a problem and it can figure out a solution, like a tiny engineer in the canopy. Every evening it builds a fresh sleeping nest high in the trees, carefully arranging branches and leaves into a comfortable shelter. And don't let the slow movements fool you. Those incredibly long arms hide serious strength, giving orangutans the power to swing through the canopy with remarkable control. But their greatest advantage is also what makes their situation so tragic. They depend on rainforest habitats that are disappearing faster than they can adapt. A brilliant animal, living quietly above the forest floor, now facing a problem its intelligence alone can't solve. A forest disappearing beneath it. Bonobo. This ape looks like a chimpanzee, but it would rather end a fight than start one. The bonobo shares much of the chimpanzee's intelligence, agility, and ability to solve problems, but its society works very differently. Bonobos are famous for using affection and cooperation to reduce conflict, often resolving tension before it turns into serious violence. And their social system flips the usual script. Females lead, while males tend to have a more relaxed position within the group. Instead of constant power struggles, bonobo communities rely heavily on cooperation, empathy, and strong social bonds. But don't mistake peaceful behavior for simplicity. These apes are highly intelligent and understand social hierarchy, relationships, and emotional signals remarkably well. The heartbreaking part is where they live. Bonobos survive in just one shrinking region of the Congo, meaning their peaceful world is under growing pressure. They may be some of the most cooperative great apes alive, but even the most peaceful society can't survive if its last home disappears. Mandrill. This monkey looks like someone turned a jungle animal into a living traffic light. The mandrill has an unforgettable face, blue cheeks, a bright red nose, and a yellow beard, all attached to a powerful body that looks more like a furry linebacker. They're the largest monkeys on Earth, built thick and strong enough to sprint through the forest like a colorful missile. But the face isn't the only intimidating part. Mandrills have enormous canine teeth, even longer than those of a lion.
So behind that ridiculous rainbow face is a serious set of weapons.
And they don't travel alone. Mandrill troops can number in the hundreds, moving through the forest as a loud, constantly shifting mass of color. At the center is the dominant male, the alpha, whose size, strength, and appearance make him almost impossible to ignore. They may look like the forest's strangest comedians, but underneath all those colors is a powerful wild animal built for life in the jungle. And the next primate, it left the trees behind. Gelada Baboon. This baboon doesn't live in the trees anymore. It rules the cliffs of Ethiopia. The Gelada Baboon is built for life on steep mountain terrain, spending hours sitting on rocky cliffs and grazing on grass like a tiny philosopher with nowhere else to be. One feature makes it impossible to confuse with other primates: the bright red patch on its chest. It almost looks like a warning light telling everyone to keep their distance. And Geladas have plenty to say. They communicate with screams, grunts, and strange lip movements that look almost like a smile. But their real superpower is numbers. A single Gelada herd can reach around 1,000 individuals, creating an enormous moving wall of fur, noise, and attitude across the mountains. When predators show up, Geladas don't necessarily need to overpower them. They simply outnumber them. No trees, no hiding. Just thousands of grass-eating primates packed together on the cliffs of Ethiopia. The Gelada doesn't survive the mountains by being the strongest animal there. It survives by making sure it's never alone. Gibbon. This ape doesn't run through the jungle. It flies through it. The gibbon is the jungle's natural acrobat, built with arms longer than its legs and shoulders made for one incredible skill: brachiation. Instead of walking from tree to tree, it swings through the canopy, grabbing one branch after another. One swing, another, and suddenly it's 50 meters away. Their movements are so fast and effortless that they look like gravity simply doesn't apply to them. But gibbons aren't just athletic. Many species mate for life, and couples perform loud duets at sunrise, using their voices to strengthen their bond and announce their territory. Those songs aren't quiet either. A single pair can make enough noise to echo through the forest and wake animals far beyond their own trees. And don't let their smaller size fool you. With incredible speed and control, gibbons can outmaneuver predators, rivals, and almost anything trying to catch them. Lightweight, fast, and impossible to follow, the gibbon doesn't conquer the jungle by strength. It simply refuses to touch the ground. Siamang. This ape doesn't need a microphone. The forest is already its audience. The Siamang is like a gibbon with a built-in subwoofer, famous for its incredibly powerful songs that can echo across the jungle. Its secret weapon is the large throat sac. This black pouch inflates like a balloon, amplifying every call until the sound seems to shake the entire forest. Siamang pairs often sing duets, with their voices carrying for miles across valleys. But behind all that noise are surprisingly gentle partners. They form lifelong bonds, share parenting duties, and use their powerful voices to defend their territory instead of constantly fighting. And they're just as impressive in the trees. Siamangs are powerful acrobats, moving through the canopy with incredible agility and often traveling together as a pair. But their stage is disappearing. As their forest habitat shrinks, there's less room for these remarkable singers to survive. A giant voice, a lifelong partner, and a forest that can hear them from miles away. The Siamang may be one of nature's loudest performers, but its greatest song means nothing if the forest falls silent. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.